Today we are beginning our finest hour in Rimworld Console Edition. I really wanted to prove that the console was as much fun as the PC with this, but I'm hoping that it'll ultimately attract more people to play Rimworld, because my head has entered the same flow state that I usually do when I play Rimworld, and I just kind of wanted to show it off to you guys in its initiatory form. Anyway, probably this is going to attract a lot of people to the PC game, because I've heard so many comments about people wanting mods, or maybe they'll somehow find a way to get some extra modding or customization in the game. Anyway, I think overall, my assessment after about 10 hours of play is that 011 did a fantastic job, and all the things that really matter, like control, feel, and like flow of execution, were done perfectly on Rimworld console. Or I firmly believed that it could not be done. I thought, I was kind of like laughing to myself, honestly, when I heard that it was being released for console. Like, okay, I'm very happy for Ludeon, but I didn't think it would be fun. And when I tried it out, I was like, holy cow, they did a really good job on this. So I would encourage you guys, if you are thinking of checking it out, to check it out. Once again, big thanks to them for a key, as I've been saying in this. And for that matter, I have reported a couple of weird behaviors I've noticed from comments on YouTube or anywhere else I heard of them. These might be irrelevant in a couple of weeks, but I've had some difficulty recruiting prisoners. Like, they'll just stay stalled at a certain recruitment percentage. I had a colonist I just had to put down with paralytic abasia. You might remember Table from the last video. I got a little bit more done, and he wasn't really making any progress in his paralytic abasia. I don't know if it's something like due to the timer on console, but I reported it. I don't think I was doing anything wrong in my game, but there were a couple of things I didn't see, like last time. Like, when I'm selecting colonists, if I hold down the left bumper or the L1 on the PS4 or PS5, you can actually snap to colonists, which I thought you couldn't do, and somebody had mentioned in the comments. So thank you for that, because there are a couple things like that. Other thing is, like, clothing policies. I've got everybody with tattered apparel, and whenever I try to set clothing policies right now, this will probably be changed within a couple of days or weeks, but I can't seem to set percentage amounts, but I imagine that's something that's like going to be ironed out really fast. I was able to set all the drug policies and everything the way that they work really well. So fantastic there. I just think it's one little menu. I'm content to just live with that. But I think that's pretty much everything. I just wanted to see if I could fully flesh out a colony, and we're pretty much there. So for today, I think I'm going to do like maybe some questing if anything interesting comes up. I want to try to avoid like heat wave. Not really that interesting. I mean, I do sort of have temperature control in this colony, but yeah, I would rather do some fighting, or just like, I don't know, if somebody attacks our base, maybe a line stand, or maybe get some armor up and running. I might come back to this colony, but I just wanted to see what it would kind of become all fleshed out. So I think we'll take today to just kind of fully, like, inhale all that our colony is and can be. I just like a well-run factory, and once I get to that state, I'm usually very satisfied with the colony. So I'll show you a couple things that I've done. It's taken me long enough, but I wanted to just get through that whole assessment. I guess we'll start at the front entrance to the base. Again, we're streaming this, and I'm just going to turn back on alerts for a second, so in case of anybody subs or anything like that, it can come back through. You have the death room. I don't really like the crematorium here because I think it takes too long. I am working on some Molotovs, but do we have the material for the Molotovs? See, now this build... Ooh, wait a second. I didn't mean to have you do that at all. Very easy to just dismiss that. Okay, well, let's have the bills make Molotov cocktails. Details. Do we have enough for that? Do X times bills make Molotov cocktails. What is required for this? Let's try adding another bill, and usually it will tell us information. 25 cloth and 80 chem fuel. Do we have the chem fuel required? Actually, we have only 44 chem fuel. So that is probably something that I should be researching, and instead of doing whatever we were doing, which I think was chain shotguns, let's go over to biofuel refining, because this is actually a very nice workshop. What be happening? A party. Already happened. Hey, Dagoonite, thank you very much for the sub. We've had a lot of merchants around here. If I don't get anything, I might turn it up to blood and dust, but sometimes that does just cause, use the bodies for biofuel. Can you? Wait, can you use raider bodies for biofuel? In which case, that would be a great way to, well, live. I think I'm going to go marble here. I want to minimize fire spread if that happens in this room, because there's a lot of things that can explode. And I think that this will be a chem fuel. I know, like, somewhat not smart to put the chem fuel... Yeah, way to just instantly contradict myself. I'm just trying to make it so that not too many other things are, like, set on fire or explode when one thing explodes. Perhaps this isn't... Yeah, actually, this one is not a good idea. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that at all. Oh, well, you know. Let's just do manufactured just more textiles. We need more space for that. Are we doing that there? Important, yeah, just that. Oh, yeah. Anyway, base tour. Manhunting pack of... But what, though? Huskies. That is actually worth crying about. 5 huskies, but we also have a trader here, so we can pretty much just use them. But they are... They just destroyed all of my slate traps. How could they do that? Alright, well, what I'm going to go ahead and do is just mine out the rest of this entire thing. There'll probably be massive cave-ins, but we'll do some, like, strip mining here. Yeah, somebody's gonna have to die. It's fine. Let's just build a column in the middle there so that as it occurs, this is probably not a very safe way to mine out an entire mountain, but, you know, it happens. Maybe another one there. Been playing Prison Architect because of the... Definitely going to get... Ah, you found Rimworld from Prison Architect. Actually, that was what I found Rimworld from as well. Which Prison Architect had been earlier. Why am I doing shelves in here rather than stockpiles? Mainly because shelves preserve the beauty of the spaces. If they spend an extensive amount of time in here, I don't want the room to be extremely ugly. So if they have shelves, they aren't... Like, if they're in just normal stockpiles, usually they think that they're ugly to see items just lying on the ground. But when they're in a stockpile on a shelf, they look prettier. So this room actually has positive beauty, despite the fact that there's so many materials in it. There's a couple spots where I'm just like, who cares about a shelf? But maybe I should put something there. Let me see, other stuff. Okay, so when you get in the base, here's our, like, early standing and defending spot, but usually this hasn't worked out for me because of the amount of time it takes them to get into the door. Might want to install one auto door there. That could be a decent spot. Infirmary, in case if anybody gets hit. Sort of an animal infirmary here, or an animal sleeping zone. Though, honestly, probably I shouldn't have that in the infirmary because it's just going to add filth. So let's move this over here. Just because I said so. No, not you, Slaughter. I like how you can double-click a space, and then it selects the next object on it. Like, most of those controls over from the PC have been preserved, it seems to me. Okay, so we've got that. Infirmary. Kill box. Ah, they all rotted. Darn it. Animal pen in case if we get animals. I just got rid of the animals because they weren't really doing much. I had toxic fallout, so you might see some of the rooftops left over from that. I had an ambrosia sprout. A couple farms for just pretty much everything. Speeds of growth. Decent fertility. I mean, all of this stuff I was able to do on the console. Fridge with, like, nicely separated goods for everything. I think that that's important and looks good. Just giant mine back here where I'm trying to get more slate. I'm really running low on slate. Probably not very efficient for the fridge either, quite honestly. In fact, I may just put in another wall right here. Let's go ahead and do that. Just so that it's not trying to cool this entire area. Do something like this. I think double or triple wide should work. There we go. And we'll do a door there. That's fine. Other than that, I did put in a brewery back here, or an area where they brew beer. I put this behind the fridge, thinking that it needed to be at a refrigeration temperature, but it's actually like room temperature. So, something that I wasn't honestly very clear on. But, you know, it is less exposed to the outside elements. It's okay. Anyway, it has a heater. It's a little bit redundant. Might waste some power, but whatever. 3 prisoner rooms. 1 kitchen with a place for getting psychite tea. 4 solar panels because I couldn't really figure out power this run. I have a geothermal vent right there, but it was a very inconvenient location. General stockpile, so that things don't rot. Building material stockpiles, things that don't rot. Looks like we got a little loading there. And then more stockpiles. Big workshop that I would probably do more to. Rec room, bedrooms. I wanted to do something more strangely shaped this time. Weapons stockpile kind of far away from everything, and then research area. But I think that's pretty much the entire base. Like, there's good art everywhere, and, you know, they're all stable. We would see the yellow dot next to them. Oh, and I got 2 more colonists, too. Let me show you these guys. So, Johns was a prisoner, and it took him a little while to come around, but he's a very good shot. He's a miner and a researcher. Where is he now? We know how to snap, too, so yeah, he's back there mining. He was a prisoner. Who was he from again? I can't remember. They were raiders. Yeah, who had they been for originally? I don't think we can get that info. Relations? Yeah. And then Kangaroo was something similar, but Kangaroo is... What is he? He's very good with plants, so he's kind of a planter. Also a great shot, but industrious and tough. I knew I had to take. And then John's was... What was his positive trait? Shooting, really good. Yeah, mining, intellectual. But he was also quick sleeper. Chemical interest is fine. At this point in time, we can manage that. And we have all the like drug policies out so that they can just have, you know, a casual beer every day or something like that. And an optimist, too, which is a fantastic trait. So... Anyway, that's where we're at with the... We had something fall on us. Pen not... Yeah, because it was hit by a meteor. Excuse me. So I've got a mad rat. Not really afraid of any of these anymore because I have slate traps all over. I don't know. I don't think we're in too much danger at all at this point in time. I had a couple of visitors come in and help everything out, but sometimes they will just seem to, like, ignore an order, like cleaning. Sometimes it's important things. Usually it's nothing too game-breaking, but, like, the tattered apparel thing is a bit annoying. I could really deeply micromanage it, but you can't change by percentage, at least as far as I've seen right now. So I'm a little stuck there, unless if I'm just being stupid again and I can't see it. I know how to do it on PC, but something seems to have happened here. We got the flu. Who else had the flu? Anyway, I suppose I could get, like, more high-tech stuff right now. I'm probably going to manage the base, and then once we get some idle colonists, maybe then we'll wait for an interesting quest and send them out on it. Can't mine the whole mountain. I could mine much of the mountain if I wanted to. The reason I don't think it's such a great idea to mine the mountain completely is... I can't really show rock roof overhead versus, like, constructed roof, but technically I could get drop potted in on here because there were, like, hollows, shafts of light in the mountain, which was a bit disturbing. A bit disturbing. Sandra D. Castle says, I like space to build the base. I'm bad at planning. If you want to get a decent guide on base planning, I recommend the old Lore Plays video. That was the one I kind of learned it from. I really had no sense of organization about my Rimworld colonies when I first started, but then she made this video that was really good on it. It was like the more planning mod. Everything was color-coded. It's very, like, crispy and clean, so... but yeah, I too struggle with organization. Things that I create aren't just, like, automatically good-looking, which is really too bad. Because I think that's a rare and, like, desirable quality to have. That, you know, whenever you write on a piece of paper, like, it's an outline, you know. I used to work with people who were very nice and organized like this, and they had good handwriting, and whenever they had to, like, present something, it looked very good. And I had the information, but it was just sort of, like, all in a jumble, you know. And it's too bad, because it's something I'd like to be good at, because supposedly I've taken those, like, personality tests, and I have the architect's head, you know. I have, like, that INTJ thing, but yeah, it really doesn't look good at all when I try to build anything. But it's at least given me, like, the logical planning blocks. You start with the soil and the geothermal power, and once you have those two things figured out, then you could figure out the production chain, the fridge, the kitchen. Then that all has to lead to the dining room, which needs to be in the middle of the area, which is, like, where the daily activities happen. So you kind of create this funnel, which is nice and efficient, into the rest of the day's activities, which just sort of surround the rest. And it doesn't really matter where the bedrooms go. The bedrooms can be anywhere on the outside. But yeah, there are principles here, just so that they aren't walking all the way across the map in order to get stuff done. It does actually make your base more efficient, and usually it makes it into a sort of defensible circle-like shape. I think that this worked out really well in the Arctic colony, because I did work off of a design that I had seen online when I did that one. Like, that was where the original idea had come from. Are you going to die with your flu? It's only a minor flu. His immunity is actually not that much higher. I'm going to give you, just for now... Yeah, he's got best quality medicine. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You're an INTJ. Really, the one that you want is the ENTJ, because the thing... My issue is that I spend a lot of time daydreaming. I'm like, well, that would be nice. But then I never do it. You know, they say that's the architect, though the ENTJ is the commander. But I think a lot of that stuff is kind of silly, too. Like the Myers-Briggs, it's just sort of like however you're feeling one day. Maybe one day you're more of an E, another day you're an I, another day you're an F, sometimes you're a P, or whatever it is. Stop waving to him and actually clean his cell. Let's go just have a nice spread of cleaning I would like to have happen. I always like a nice spread of cleaning at some point during the day. And we could just do that. That was a nice addition. The, like, column up, column down. Yeah, it was a cool design. I don't know, it's satisfying to get it. Not only a base that, like, works, but one that does look kind of cool. And I've seen this from people, because I've seen some wild things that people have posted, like in my Discord when they have 1,200 hours in Rimworld. And some people have entirely forsaken the notion of playing in squares. I still think squares are pretty good. But yeah, like bases completely made in circles. Okay, now there will be this. Okay, so let's get that biofuel refining in. And then we could burn those bodies. I like everything to be nice and tucked away in the main base before I kind of go about my next set of tasks. Let's go ahead and also I'm going to subject one of you to spending like 6 minutes with all the dead bodies. Here we go. Don't complain. Don't dare complain. And let's go ahead and just... Whoops-a-daisy. All right, now we have to do that again. Well, at least I can show you how I'm going to make this. All right, shrink this zone. Now they're all going to get horrible moods. Yeah, see, they're all turning yellow in their mood. Do another dumping stockpile zone here. And this one is going to be just the nicest things in here. Yeah, I found people are saying that the console UI is a bit polarizing. Some people love it. Some people are just okay with it. Personally, I think it's nice. Here we go. Corpses, we just want human-like corpses in here, fresh or rotten. Do I have a P.O. box? Oh. No, I don't actually have a P.O. box. But thank you. That's very nice. Buzz YouTube. Hey, everybody coming out from YouTube. Hey, thanks guys for coming out. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming out and say hi to me. Cheposaurus Rex. We have so many people with dinosaur names here today. I just picture all of you as like a bunch of polite dinosaurs sitting inside. You know, maybe you're knitting or, I don't know, something nice that dinosaurs do. Here we go. All right, do we have both of these at critical priority? Important priority? You know what? Good enough for me, but also, too, we want to get those to critical just to get... Like, if there's a corpse just lying around, we don't want that happening there. Oh, and also, too, we got to take off that cleaning. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, you guys are just a bunch of wholesome dinos. A couple of you guys are velociraptors. Sitting at home. Art man. Decent sculptures. What do you think this is? I think it's a guy like from the 20s with a bowler hat on. And he's looking the other way. That's what I always thought of this one. Oh, we got a normal quality one. Wow, normal quality. I think I'm going to put this one in Shield's room because this is Shield, by the way. Shield has been like a little bit on edge lately. Oh, and we also need to do the... Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hey, Utsutsu01. With all these 01s in your names, tell me, why do you guys have the 01? Was the 1 already taken? Thank you very much for the, for that $5.11. Where am I going to spend it all? Sorry, I did spend some, went out to eat today. I got like a bowl. Like, I don't know what this is. I think it's like a Korean bowl. I was upset though, because I picture myself enjoying like more Korean cuisine, and I don't. And I feel upset about that. You ever have that with something? Like, I'm supposed to like zucchini, but I don't like zucchini. Pen not enclosed. Zucchini bread is good. Yeah. Mimic the base design of beehives. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some things that are created in nature are quite good. I'm not really intent on making everything into hexagons, but I suppose you could do that too. Hang on a moment. Methinks... actually... This is kind of a horrible spot for this. Let's put the biofuel refinery... Let's put it in with the brewery for right now, because I don't really feel like making an entirely separate room, but we can always relocate it, and that's pretty much fine. Neum, right there. And that's good, because it can use plant matter. Or it could use wood, but I think plant matter might be a bit easier for right now. What games do I like to play in my spare time? Enjoy, but can't make an entertaining video on. Probably like roguelikes. Slay the Spire. Playing a good amount of 20 minutes till dawn. To a certain extent, Rimworld, honestly. I do really enjoy it. Because it's one of those ones that I just get super into. But oftentimes what I do now is just play the games separately from doing the commentary and stuff like that. Just because I feel like it's kind of two separate things. But that's why we have the VODs. That's why we stream too. So that there can be a little bit more like game playing. You know what I mean? I'd like to do some multiplayer stuff again too. But I do have some weaknesses. Like I will get into League and stuff like that too, which is, it's kind of like a drug to me. I just don't play that stuff anymore because it's just kind of addicting, in my opinion. I like the game a lot. It's very good. I also was playing a lot of Magic the Gathering Arena. That was very good. I prefer it in paper form. But it was just like, I was just taking so much of my time. And it was one of those ones where I went back like every single day to play it. Wait a minute. Medical emergency? Who the hell is this? Wait, are you really kidding me? Are you going to die of the flu? No, he's going to be fine. It is on John's, right? Wait, shield. No. Okay, he could make it. What the hell, though? What the hell? How is he so sick? Hang on a second. Somebody get in there. That's bizarre. Did we give him the best quality? Maybe I forgot him. Ooh, I did forget him. Best quality medicine. Okay, that was stupid of me. That was a big dumb. Sheckley, wait a minute. No, don't clean that, Sheckley. Johns, you... Why will no one clean this man's doo-doo? I'm going to send you over the vomit, and then you will clean the vomit. There we go. Okay, Shield, why are you out of bed? Nope, don't cheer somebody up. I need you to go back to bed. You know what this is probably from? Alright, I was a little stupid here. Work. Don't doctor, Shield. Because you're supposed to bed rest first. Does this make sense? This was just kind of like a silly thing that happened because obviously they should doctor one another first before they bed rest, but it just became this awful spiral here. So I'm just going to do that. And if I draft him and then undraft him, yep, he should go back to rest. Okay, now I gotta figure out who is the best doctor because I'm confident that he will be fine. I just overlooked this. 86, 84. Okay, we got gas operation going again. Alright, this much is going great, guns. Let's see if we get a turret going online, too. Risk of Rain 2. That's also an excellent game. Could do a Rimworld story like Zomboid Zero to Hero or like Krug with it. Krug makes great stuff. Make it philosophical. I don't really feel like Rimworld lends itself to being very philosophical, though. I feel like when I play Zomboid, a lot of people will ask, why can't you do more philosophical stuff? Kind of like I did a while back. And I felt like it just came very naturally, and if folks ask for philosophical stuff... Wait a second, why are you feeding him that crap? Oh, because you are the cook. Right, darn it. You know what? I'm going to let that happen for just this one. And then you go back to cooking. He might actually survive, though, if it's within 1%. And if the 11 hours... tending expires in... Okay, well, it's fine. I could get an 11, but he might be gone by then. If it's within 1 or 2%, I believe he'll be okay, if this is consistent with the PC version, but I really don't want to lose this pawn. Yeah, he's within 1%. This is going to be close. He just needs to stay in that bed. I don't know. It's like I can't really philosophize on demand. A lot of people think that philosophize is a word. Do I have the good point? At a certain point, it's an excellent quality bed. I believe that's the best that we've got. 96, 95. He should be okay if it's within 1%, though. As far as I've seen in the past. Yes, Zomboid is about philosophy, but Rimworld is about, like, numbers, in my opinion. This was so close. Come on, pull through, baby. Come on, pull through. There's nothing that we can do for him at this point. We could make the room like 1% cleaner. If he dies, I'll be very sad. What the? No! No! Why? Jesus, he had 99% immunity. Rip. Alright, I deserve that one. I wasn't watching the herbal medicine. That's bizarre. On PC... I'm not sure if that could have happened on PC, but... that is a major setback. He was one of the best colonists in this colony. Who will do the cooking? No! Okay, time for a nutrient paste dispenser. Alright, kiddos. get ready for this. All right, at least we get to do something else new. It's fine. He had a bad back. He was going to die anyway. Yeah. Oh, well. Oh, well. That's the way the cookie crumbles. No, but really he was. We're just going to deconstruct these, deconstruct this, and deconstruct this. Now, the reason I thought that would work, how did he die? He had 99% immunity, and the flu had 100% taken him, so it was, like, barely by the skin of his teeth that he lost it. Yeah. Needless to say, I'm pissed. Normally, if they're within 1%, they'll be fine, but this allows me to demonstrate the utility of the nutrient paste dispenser while we're out a pawn that we should not be out. Honestly, I wasn't paying attention and I kind of effed up there, but it's because I set them all to herbal quality medicine or worse, and it just, I didn't. Big F, big F. But you know what's great is that brings us down to 4 colonists, so now we'll probably start getting sent more. Isn't that nice? Okay, ooh. Oh, the alpaca meat was so close to rotting. Who even would have known? Who even would have known? Feeds into another nutrient paste dispenser and put him first and second. No negative. Wait, you could put human meat into one nutrient paste dispenser and then another? Oh, for no negative. That's bizarre. This is like a Matrix kind of move right here. Why can't we do it there? Oh, because of the chair. Get that chair out of the way. There we go. All right. Production. Nutrient paste dispenser. There we go. I don't think I'm going to need more than 3 hoppers at this point. Is it hoppers? Like an Edward Hopper? Do you think Edward Hopper is just there painting at the back? Here we go. A nice hopper. There we go. I like Hopper. I like Edward Hopper. I have a lot of hoppers in my apartment. Hey, thanks for coming out from YouTube, guys. Couple of console Rimworld players are making their way into the chat now. Sad survivors, death on shield. Oh, please. I'll take it because I'm not. If I were going much further, I would probably just like reload. But I'm, you know, there's bound to be a couple things that I just do stupidly here and there, so it's worth showing them on camera. There, good. Make this room slightly nicer. Gun turrets. We are getting a lot of good technology now. Ah, nice. What else can happen? You know, I do like a lot of the lower level technologies in this game. Like, they're very useful. Very useful. I wish that there were a button in regular Rimworld, and I don't believe that this is in any mods, but, like, just for a common sense check on medicines. Like, if pawn has flu, give good medicine. If pawn has scratch on foot, give regular medicine. If pawn is about to die, like, or is it within however many hours, just tend with nothing or whatever's most available. And I think that there are a couple like this, but I'm not sure if there's the one that conditionally does it based on whatever it is. So that, to me, is a cause of great sadness. Anyway, let's go into, I believe it's under MISC. Yeah, like scratch requiring Glitter World medicine. Just a slight bit of an overreaction. Oh, if we put him... Well, we could always dig him back up. Bring him back up. Is Rimworld difficult to get into? Somewhat. Depends on what kind of brain you have, I suppose. Some people find it... Need steel. Wait, we don't have steel? Oh, I'll be damned. We don't have any steel. Okay, alright. Let's go get some steel then. Steel yourselves. Get it? Oh, Jesus Christ. Ah, there goes the steel. There goes the steel. Fortunately, they were pretty much at, like, the point of total stability, even without this guy. So, it's fine. Sad news that they lost a fighter. Where is his body? Is it still in the fridge, or is somebody eating it, or did they put it out on a table or something like that? Yep, they just put him with the other dead bodies. No, don't consume him. Are you able to bury him at all? Why does everyone want to consume him? How bothersome. Why is he going to be consumed? Maybe it's because I have it under critical priority. Let's try changing it to, like, important. Oh, no! Oh, God, the warg's eating him! Ugh. There we go, bury him. No, please stop eating him. There we go. That's much better. Beautiful. Okay, there we go. Now we have steel. We have enough for that. We have enough for this. I think we're still going to need even more for this thing. Wasn't that such a funny happenstance? Yeah, there we go. I suppose the other thing to do would be hospital beds. I mean, another reason why he barely didn't survive was due to hospital beds. Do we have that as a later technology that we could research? Because I'm probably going to leave this colony here in case if I ever have to do anything with other Rimworld. Okay, with 3 desperate refugees. They're banished due to moral disagreements. Permission to stay. Oh, so we get free workers. All right, yeah, let's take these people. Future possible reward. We can host strangers. The mysterious strangers. Construction. This guy's good with animals. Maybe he's like Eliza. Cannibal, slothful, pyromaniac. Cannibal's actually quite a good... I don't believe that they're upset if they don't get it, right? Yeah, he just took a couple nibbles out of him. Oh, I was talking about the warg, not the cannibal. Look where we've found ourselves arriving again. Let's do organics. We'll do mode. Do until you have... we want a goodly amount of chem fuel. Do we have a fast way of doing this? Can we hold L1 here again? No, but there are a couple of UI controls that I missed, like the snap to various pawns, so that's why I'm trying to be extra careful when I'm looking at these times. Alright, how can we make you happy? Sanguine, psychically dull, annoying voice. She's actually not that bad. Do we have... Is somebody here... Are you a misogynist? No, you are not. Oh, no, that was a different colonist. My bad. It was someone else who was a misogynist. Always confused those two. We had a misandrist and we had a misogynist. It was so... Oh, you have a go juice addiction. Go juice addiction is actually quite horrible. A bunch of people asking, does the PS version have DLCs? The PS version has royalty for right now, just royalty, and it's good. I'm finding it comfortable. Yeah, actually surprisingly comfortable. Now, who has this unhappy nudity? But she kind of like came here with the nudity as it is. Hang on a second. Are we gonna be able to banish you if need be? Gear social. Can we just like forget about our quest? Be like, you gone. Stay out. She's making herself unhappy by being nude thus. Look at it. Gaze upon the nudity and be distressed. Interact. Bills. Why is this? Oh yeah, I've turned it off completely. So let's unturn this off. I mean, that's a weird way to say turn on, but That's how I'm living my life. I'm living it weird. We gotta allow people in here now that we've got so many refugees. Wake up! Or else. There we go. Oh, you have a club. That's so funny. Good, they are still making meals whenever they can. But our plant situation is growing increasingly dry. It is Jugist, though, so we should have something. Something for everyone soon. Alright. Assessment. Colonist idle. I like these migrant workers, though, because as long as they're not completely unstable, they usually leave the colony in much better shape than when they entered it. This room does appear very flammable, though, too. I think I'm going to give them my pump shotguns because I want, especially the ones that I want to be not here anymore, because I want to get them nice, up close and personal with people. You know, and the pump shotgun in this game is certainly a spectacle. New quest has become available. It's called, I'm liking the look of this. Infestation of one hive. Oh, we love a hive. Let's have one. Venom Talon. It would be neat to give somebody a Talon. You know, I just want to fight people is the truth, though. Luciferium could be interesting. Yeah, let's get one of them addicted to Luciferium. I'm accepting. Objectively a bad thing, but also kind of funny. Where is it coming? Oh, that's not such a bad spot. Alright, so it's one hive. That's all that we've got. Most of you will be fine. Let's go ahead. I could do this the way where I lay out traps and I make it safe. I don't think I'm going to do that, though. I think I'm just going to... Let's go ahead and deconstruct this and this. And let's have you. You can go ahead and deconstruct. Right, there we go. I don't think that this should be too bad, though, either. Oh, whoops-a-daisy. All right, I didn't mean for you to do that quickly, but okay. All right, if you're being such a silly Bo Billy. Oh, Jesus. All right, let's draft you. You three are going to stand right in here. Line up in the order in which I imagine that you guys are going to start to cause annoyances for me. Yep. You are not allowed to be unhappy. Oh, you didn't bring a weapon, you dingus. You get that one. Yeah, take that. I told you guys there would be combat. Don't upset me. Don't upset me, Spider-Man. Yes. There's just something about, like, combined firepower that's nice. Alright, stand over there. Yeah, Cask of Amontillado. That. It is kind of like Cask of Amontillado, to be fair. Good on you referencing Cask of Amontillado. What an excellent story. Hang on a second. Whoops-a-daisy. Here we go. All right, nice. You know, it's very easy to draft and then undraft a bunch of colonists, like, all in a row. Let's just wall this up. I don't even really care to do the rest. There we go. Make sure we do that so that nobody... okay, all right, I see. We want to bring in the bug corpses. Okay, it's kind of interesting to have their bodies over there anyway. We build walls around a Luciferium. Yeah, we might end up doing that. But I told you, I just wanted to get... I'm going to use the Luciferium irresponsibly. That's my intent for this grand finale. I want to get somebody who's missing, like, their toes. Okay, Luciferium is probably a horrible item to use on your colonists because it's... Oh, wait, I could just use it on the migrants. That's fine. Okay, so then this is really the ideal situation because I don't really think that these people are going to join us, or whichever ones I think are objectively bad, I'm just going to get them. Like, she's got the annoying voice. Actually, she is quite good. No, I actually, Usos I do kind of want to join us. Though, why is she just walking around, like, naked? Like, put on that dust there. Okay. Here we go. This guy has on some clothes. Oh, it was because of the alcohol tolerance. Is anyone slothful? Okay, I'll take that out of you. Slothful pyromaniac. Okay. I honestly think, yeah, you know, slothful pyromaniac, he's better off being addicted to Luciferium. Probably, you know, it's like a lifelong lesson. And I won't have to deal with the outcome of it, so... Yeah, you know, I mean, feasibly, he could find it all the time. It's like Zombrex. Don't worry, guys. These people are just visiting, and then they're going to cease to exist after this. All right, what about this guy? Body Purist. Not a great trait. Gourmand. Not that. And you're an undergrounder. You're also getting the Luciferium. All right. Okay, we just got 2 of them on Luciferium. So at least while they're here, you know, they're going to be more useful to us. All right, we have a Manhunter pack of what? Rabbits? What the hell? Okay, 2 arms, people. Why is it giving me like another option here? Open linked quest. Ah, that's why. Okay. All right. Just hang out. I want all hands on deck for the rabbit invasion. Even you should probably prepare for the worst when these rabbits arrive. Oh, wait, you've been left out in the open. Hang on a second. Save yourself. The rabbits are mindless killing machines. Take them down! Actually, a pump shotgun is probably a very good item for that. Alright. Phew. Thank God they're dead. You know, this is a fairly easy way to undraft them all. And I can go back and forth between... I think I've done this, this justice, though, you know? The console Rimworld, that's exactly the type of situation that I thought would have been mismanaged in a port of Rimworld. And yet it was very easy. Ho-ha. Ho-ha. I tried playing where I accept all colonists regardless of their flaws the first time I played. I feel like that's the first time that I played Rimworld. There was one guy who was like 80-year-old pyromaniac, and he had something about him that was very unstable. Besides being a pyromaniac. Yeah, that colony didn't last very long. I want to make sure they get all of that Luciferium in them, too. Maybe I should also get her. You know, if it doesn't seem like that they really want to join me, then I'm just going to get them taken Luciferium so that we could at least take it all out. It's like an 8-pack of Gatorades, you know. We gotta get these out of the house. Somebody's gotta have these. Usos, I would be okay if she joined, though. The other ones, though, I would reject outright. Oh, wait a minute. Who else? Oh, no. Oslos, I had planned for that. Oh, no. A mad guinea pig. We did so much to try to make him happy, though. Just walk literally right there. Literally right there. Good job. Tattered apparel. Yeah, see, now we're getting the tattered apparel times 5 because of the thing. Hey, holy cow. Hey, we're getting a raid from Rimmy. What's up, Rimmy? Hang on a second. Let me give Rimmy a quick shout out. Hey, nice friend Rimmy. How are you doing? I'll see you in September, my guy. PDXCon. Hang on a second. What were you guys playing? Hey, thanks for sending your folks over here. Wait a second, I almost accidentally just raided you. I just mean to shout out. Hey, what are you up to, my guy? Guys, please be sure to go check out good streamer and YouTuber friend Remy. Sorry, I can't stay deep brief. No, you go do. You just had a long stream. You have a nice time. You guys were on Armor 3. Well, thanks for dropping your people off here. Oh gosh, what a blessing to be visited by you. Man, I'm still thinking back on our PZRP back in December. That was fun stuff. That was a good time. Actually, I was in a different state of mind when we were last chatting. Hope you guys had a good stream, though. Hey, thanks for dropping everybody off here. Yeah, PDF Con. We're going to be doing a lot of Adobe PDFs. There's going to be some JPEGs, and there's going to be a lot of other documents in the building, I'm sure. Here you go. Look, even with poor quality, we're getting this. Yes, actually fair. Yeah, back in Australia, Rimworld got banned. But now is not banned, mind you. So it's allowed. Everything they decided was okay. So nice to have some help around the house. We've just been attacked by some various stuff. I'm going to go ahead and prove, you know, if I'm not getting like so many raids, I'm just going to go ahead and make some moves that I'll really regret. Let's do losing is fun. Just see what happens. I have all these people addicted to Luciferium with pump shotguns. What could possibly go wrong? Why don't you have it too? It doesn't seem like you really like me that much. So as a test of your commitment and loyalty, take this red stuff. Here we go. Nice, nice. Yes, Adobe, we're going to a circus. It's called Adobe Acrobat. Something like that. Yeah, Rimworld. Hey, Mr. Ickes, how are you? And JX Chin, thank you very much for the sub. Yeah, Disco Elysium, too. Inspired Taming. It got unbanned, though. Never do cleaning, never do cleaning. Alright. What other quests do we have anyway? I know about this. Here we go. We're good. Tattered Apparel ×5. We're just letting that slide. Royal Ascent. Not really anything we can do to Sad Survivors Ship to the Stars. We're not really going to do that either. The Wolves Hive is decent. But I'm guessing now that we're on Losing is Fun, Cassandra's probably going to make a lot of my colonists sick. And then kill them all. Eclipse. Okay, that's a perfect thing to do to me, to take down my solar grid. Ooh, Cassandra. I don't like you, Cassandra. Ooh, flak vests. Hang on a second, I hear an infestation. Where is it? Oh, it's right over there. That's fine. That's a perfectly fine spot for it to be. No problem at all. No problem. Okay, now we're actually going to learn to deal with an infestation, my people. I could do this the right way or the wrong way. Let me think. It's not really a threat to me at this exact moment, so I might wait for the eclipse to pass. In fact, we might want to get some, like, wind power generation going here. I mean, we will need to build wind turbines if that's the case. Hang on a second. I actually like dealing with infestations now. I think that they're kind of fun, weirdly. I'm going to sacrifice some people to this infestation, though. It just needs to happen. Okay? Just needs to happen. Let's go to power. We'll do... actually, the chem fuel powered generator would be quite welcome as well. Do we have any room where we have, like, some sort of ventilation? You know, I've never done this before, but I'm going to try to put a chem fuel generator in the fridge. I might regret this. Only because they generate heat, but I want to test out how much, and I figure that if this is a throwaway colony, I'm going to start to make some moves where things will happen. Okay, look, I would do the fire thing, but here's my reason why I'm not going to do the fire thing. I think it would be fun to burn these bugs with fire, except that what's problematic about that is that then there'll be enough time for bug reproduction. So I can't allow this. I need to do it my way. Alright, well, we have the light. Do we have at least 100%? We have 50% light here. Okay, observe as I use science to take them down. We're going to definitely lose some people here, so this was a good time for you to come in. I bet you've been streaming for a long time, though, but if you gotta go head out right now, you go ahead and you have a nice egg McMuffin or some other treat, you know? Something that you eat. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, rally together no, not yet. Ah, God, I should have put them on hold fire. Right, you are going to go over here. Actually, go out here, because there's probably going to be some people that are going to have to carry away. Actually, you are the one I wanted. You are drafted. Are you there? Where is everybody else? You're there. Okay, everybody else is in position except for Usos. I guess she's the one that doesn't matter as much, to be fair. Nope, stand there. There we go. Good, and you stand there. Oh, God! This could be the end. Do we have a backup plan in any way? Alright, you know what? You go get some spike traps in case if this doesn't work out. No, don't try to clean over there. That would not be ideal. I probably should have done this before. But I wanted something climactic and, you know, that would probably take some lives. Probably could have gone the trap route, though. Oh, well. Why don't you handle this? Okay, good. Only one of them is meleeing. Actually, I did this in exactly the wrong way. Hang on a second. Step back. Move. Move, man. Before they take you down. There we go. Okay, good. You're the one that is also more expendable. Okay, here we go. Actually, if I had moved this back slightly, it could have been better, but I didn't want to preoccupy them. You always want to do 1v1 or ideally 3v1 with melee when you're dealing with bugs. So that much I have puzzled out for myself. It is a lot of bugs, though. If they take this guy down, I'm going to move. Who's going to be the next one that goes in? Well, how have they injured you? It's fine. These people are just visitors. They're expendable. But look at all the pump shotguns we have as well, and look at how loyally this guy is putting down those spike traps in the fridge. Wow, he's actually holding up. Now I recall why. Final Pestination. We just got a trophy, guys. Hey. Okay, he's dead. He's very dead. Wait a second. This is bad. I didn't really mean for that melee to occur, but... oh, whatever. They should win this fight still. Good! Tally-ho! And in we go. What? You were afraid for no reason. Oh, you idiots. Of course, I am... yeah, that didn't go very well at all. Oh, yeah, I can't undraft you because you're downed. Too bad. Come on, save that man. There we go. Okay, one person should at least stick around and clean it up. But we got in some good combat, you know what I mean? Attack that one. Whoops-a-daisy. Yeah, shoot there, that one. Whoops-a-daisy. You go there. Good, okay, and then she'll just auto-attack these things. I always like turning up the difficulty just to test and see if I can handle things. Now, there's so much micromanagement in, like, sometimes in this game. We really should have done some melee colonists. Maybe I'll see if anyone's any good at that. Alright, is anybody gonna die now? Nah, I love it when it's on kind of autopilot. I'd research, how are we coming with those hospital beds, eh? Coming along, coming along. Death in 21 hours. No, why is no one caring for this, man? Is everyone downed? Another ambrosia. We already have enough ambrosia. We have a ton of ambrosia. Probably not even going to live to harvest it. We'll just leave it there for now. I could do with the grow zone and everything, but yeah, it's fine. I'll just save that insect jelly for later on when I might need it. Hey, Graymo, thank you very much for the sub. And Jambi Champ, thank you very much for the sub. Here's another one. At least they have a couple of bug corpses. We just dealt with 3 hives. Honestly, didn't think they would make it through that very easily. What I could have done is have 3 melee there, because that was a dark moment when there were 3 guys with ranged weapons like that. Let's see if anybody's decent at all with melee. Melee is one of those things that always seems like it is kind of archaic, but it's actually quite good. You're not going to be with us soon. You're not going to be with us soon. You're not going to be with us soon. You are... Nah, pretty much everybody in this colony is destined to be a shooter. Did you lose anything in your eyeballs? Because that would be upsetting, because you need those to see. Nope, just got bit in the right leg. You don't need that. That's fine. Melee sucks until you need it. Yep. Fair. Because, I mean... It is somewhat... I'm not going to say that Rimworld combat is realistic, but it is realistic in the sense that one bad shot, like there's always an element of randomness, you know, unless if you have on 20 mods and like some crazy good armor, in which case, you know, if you have on like the Phoenix's armor or whatever it is, why are you even bothering anymore? But there are some people who could take like crazy amounts of fighting, all the Greek warriors. Kind of cool that they added that thematic thing into the game. Slos is healed. Yeah, I always like when a colony can quickly come back from something as bad as that. Now, the other thing I've got on is, I never really showed these, but my drug policies are currently... ooh, this is a little asymmetrical. Let's do it like this. I'll just put them all for the default. Don't know if there's much benefit. I've heard people say that you could just do them at all hours, anything. And then that's better, but there was some reason I can't remember why I don't do that anymore. Let's experiment. Where is it? Anything at any time. Can we do the whole column? I feel like I was missing something. Yeah, advanced tools there. Copy row. Let's try that out. Whoops. Paste row. Whoops. Oh, you have to, like, undo it. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, now I've completely messed up everything. Set this row to anything, just so that they can all do anything whenever they want. Santa Bearded, thank you very much for the prime. Copied, pasted, okay, anything goes. There it... Who knows what will happen. Now, that's good for, like, night owls and other people, and I'm pretty sure that they will sleep whenever they want. And at this point in time, I mean, it is kind of nice for them to be awake during the day when there's light, because they won't be disappointed, but I have the entire base lit now, so that should be fine. Just let them do as they wish, however they please, whenever they want, however they want. I just feel like at this point in time, how do you spring for more colony development? Like, how could you go further? I guess with technology and just preparing for stuff, because I always live for this moment in Rimworld when I can stop and think and just go, everything is good. And then it's kind of like the seventh day of creation, you know, like Genesis style. It's like, yes, and I can rest now. That's what happens when you play God. A la that JonTron thing. I'm sorry, I just watched the Flex Tape video again, and it's very funny. But yeah, playing God, though. Playing God. Yeah, like, what do you do? For me, what's always the last step is just traps scattered everywhere throughout within the base, because threats can come from within, as well as from without. But then also, too, like, I need to be prepared from without, because a great big tidal wave could come in and sweep me up like a tsunami. So there is that to consider. And then there's also the fact that, you know, in the words of Frodo Baggins, our quest stands on the... Oh, wait a minute. No, it was... what's her name? It was Galadriel. Our quest stands on the edge of a knife. But this is a Wendy's, sir. I'm sorry. I don't know why those two things came in succession. There we go. Mixing up words that sound similar again. Hey, what temperature is it in here? 56 degrees Fahrenheit. That's good because you aren't freezing to death. Be careful about mining in the fridge. I've had a lot of toes and fingers lost while mining in the fridge. Yes, I'll also add on to, like, I hear you guys. I know a lot of people are like, Rimworld on console is inferior to Rimworld on PC. And I feel that. But that's kind of true of all games. What's funny to me is that I could never pick back up FPS games. Like, if you ever came over from... And speaking of Rimworld on console, if you've ever played FPS games on console and then you switched over to PC and then you think to yourself, for the first couple of days that you played them, oh, I could never do this on PC. I'd have to do a controller because it feels weird when you first switch. And then, like a year in, you hold a controller in your hands and you think to yourself, just, holy cow, this is extremely imprecise. Like, I couldn't play FPS games with a controller after I'd done PC. Especially after I'd done, like, a little bit of mouse calibration and aim training on PC, which I did when I was being a tryhard a couple of years ago. If you remember my aim training video. What was I going to say about this? Oh yeah, it's surprising how this translates better than that, in my opinion. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Dragon Mix Xavier. Dragon-ass Xavier. That was funny. Stoned. I'm too stoned. Just leave him there. Too stoned to walk. Stoned on smoke leaf. I like how the first thing they do is just take all of his things away from him. He's not really gonna have any experience, any major side effects. Did he throw up on the ground? Rescue. It's like an Uber driver comes to pick him up. Yeah, he's living his best life. Yeah, another thing I've done, I keep patting myself on the back shamelessly with this colony, and yet everyone's like barely mentally stable. You know, I think it's now because everyone is, well, there's shield died, so that is getting everyone -7 mood debuff. You should probably get these, oops. Who's on a major break risk? When is this? How now, brown cow? What has he had? You haven't had enough, sir. There we go. And if any more, then it's off to the Luciferium with you. Good job. Now okay, I actually had been getting up to my clothing and drug policies before. Okay, now what was it? The drug policies. Okay, these do make sense. So, quick explanation of some Rimworld drug policies in case you don't know how to use them, because I got all kinds of conflicting advice on this when I first started playing the game. Who has malaria? How could malaria come? It's not even that hot. Oh, we don't care about this guy. All right, don't even do anything with him. Yeah, all right. Hope he dies. Anyway, yeah. Colony. All right. So, as for beer is not very addictive to your pawns, so they can pretty much have a drink like once a day, and that's fine. You don't really want to do too much more than that, otherwise they will get into a bad mood. And I do it if mood is below 40%. You don't want them to always be like feeling that warmth, but a little bit is okay. And every one day. Smoke leaf joint is not that addictive, but you only want it if they're in a really poor mood, because your pawns will be very slow after they have smoke leaf. And I've had more than enough colonists go into combat on smoke leaf that it's just not a very good idea. All these ones I'm checking for addictions because, well, it's a pain to get rid of addictions. It's really difficult. But Psych IT I do every 2 days, and it's not that bad. Like, it's a little bit more addictive than smoke leaf joints. So be careful with that, but every 2 days, and, just don't have it very frequently, and, it does actually speed them up, though, if I'm not mistaken. Doesn't Psych IT do that? Let's go consult our medical provider for the exact effects of Psych IT. Actually, they might be over it right now. We'll have to check in with a pawn right after they've had some Psych IT. Or can we find one and just have them take some Psych IT? Okay, here we go. Well, along with all of the other things that I've caused you to have. Okay, so you just had Psych IT, and let's see what your stuff that's happening is having. High on Psych IT. So he's got pain times 90%, tiredness times 80%. So if I'm not mistaken, that does help them. Where is the tiredness? It's either consciousness or it has something to do. It might just be the number of hours that they can stay awake. I thought that they made them faster for some reason, but Psychite can be helpful. So don't overlook it. It's a very, very useful thing. And also, too, it makes them happier, quite obviously. Yeah, Smoke Leaf and Combat do not mix very well. That's the main reason why you want it to be something that happens only at very low moods. Like when I see them reaching for the Smoke Leaf, I know that something's up. If it's the Psychite or the beer, it's probably nothing. And also, too, it helps with pawns with a chemical interest because those things just aren't very addictive. I'm surprised that Cassandra's not trying to kill me more. Quite honestly. One thing that I haven't been able to find so far is we do have a history tab. History tab. It does show me the wealth. Does it show me the graph? I've been looking for the graph. History factions. This is a slightly different screen. I think it's been made better for this. World map is quite good. We're going to take a quick look at this. We didn't generate the entire world, but that was my decision. Hey, Jeno Garen. Thank you very, very much. Very kind of you. Thanks for coming out to the stream. Made a video with my Twitch mod. Oh, wait! Hodl. Wait, are you the maker of TTK? Or which Twitch mod was that? Which one? Ooh, thank you very much for making... God, these are... Ooh, you're TTK! I love TTK! Unfortunately, we aren't on PC right now, but TTK... thank you for coming. Why 2 days for Psychite versus 1 day for Smoke Leaf? So it doesn't actually say this in the description in-game, I believe. Wait a minute, it might. Let me look under information. But Psychite is slightly more addictive. Drug. Tolerance. It's one of these things. Tolerance. It's the tolerance fall rate or one of these things. Overall, if you... safe dose interval, 2 days. So that's the reason why I do it, so that they don't get addicted to it. I believe smoke leaf is on rare occasions it's happened to me, if somebody went a little crazy with it. Okay, actually, smoke leaf, I stand corrected. The safe dose interval is 2 days, but isn't it slightly less tolerance gain for... Maybe I'm wrong about that. But also, too, I would kind of rather... It's so unlikely. Maybe 2 days is right. I don't remember. I've seen ideology where people use... Yeah, I haven't figured out how to do it with ideology yet. Ideology I'm quite bad with. I can barely wrap my head around royalty. Thunderdazzle, thank you for the sub. This is the one thing I don't like
Big
about...
20. Ooh.
Oh. Oh, baby, a triple. Thank you very much for the sub, Geronimo. Hey, Geronimo, how you doing? Good to see you. I feel like I'm getting one of those losing is fun difficulty playthroughs where they just attempt to kill me slowly. A little bit. World map. I couldn't get the graph, but I'm just trying to show the last few things that I didn't show at all in the game. One thing that I think is a little hard to navigate here is... Oh, you can just pin these. I wish I had seen that before. Okay, I totally take that back. I was just about to say that I couldn't find something that I can totally find now. That's great. Okay, so you can pin various resources, and you can do this as well. I just want to make sure that for this entire series, I've shown every single thing, at least in its current state, as best I can with the console version. Here we go. Faction screen is okay. Prime Counselor Alyssa. I mean, that's very informative. History, a little bit I wish it had the graph. Can I do messages only? Letters and messages. Letters, messages. Also gives you direct playtime. Damage taken on this map. Kind of cool to see this, but I feel like that the graph is just slightly more informative. Ooh, a mechanoid cluster. Now we're talking. Okay. This is great. Alright, I've been waiting to experience... I've been waiting for the threat that's going to kill me, because I wanted there to be something exciting and dangerous on the way. Ah, good. Exciting and dangerous. And sharp. Sharp as well. So we've got some turrets, we've got a lot of other... Nice, I like the way that this range is showing, and I wanted to get a mechanoid cluster in here. So let's send all the people who are soon going to be dead anyway over to the mechanoid cluster. Let's give them a lot of luciferium before they head over there. Whoops, here we go. Why don't you go over there, have the last of that luciferium. Enjoy. Enjoy. Consume. Consume. And then I'm going to send you away to the fight of your life. Here we go. Let's draft them all, and then we'll draft our own people up from the rear. This is actually in a fantastic position here. All right. Looks like everybody's ready to get... Join the army. Here we go. Draft. We have to do like a little extra step there. I think I'm just going to try to mouse over everybody like this. Ooh, that didn't sort of work. All right, I got six. All right, nobody have a mental break over the next couple of seconds. Yeah, consoloid invasion. We've been raided by a bunch of Xboxes, it appears. You know, there are other ways to go about this, but I think it would be funny to just charge in 6 people without armor with shotguns. Let's have them all... Let's try to queue off the firing at will. And now let's wait a minute. I need you to be tactical. Hang on a moment. Not like this. You forgot your pump shotgun, you silly Billy. You silly Billy. Forgetting your pump shotgun. Well, I'm probably going to send you in to fight them directly, just because I think it'll be interesting. I love having expendable soldiers. I wonder if we could get the Royal Tribute Collector to be involved in this. Nope, probably not. That's a little too far away. I've investigated myself and I've found that I've done nothing wrong in the classic sense, right? Where does that meme come from? I love that. Like, I think it was the headline, like, the CIA has investigated itself and it has found that it's done nothing wrong. Wasn't that where it originally came from? Or I have no idea. Whoever made that up is a genius, though. Maybe not a genius, but, you know, kind of a smart boy. Draft. 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 Is that all 6 out of 6? Are you in on this? Check it. I mean, I want to have my people there, but I don't want to have them get killed. You know what I mean? Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who is missing? Oh, you're just standing there. Menacingly. There we are. Okay, good. Now, don't have them stand there for too long, otherwise one of them will go crazy. Okay, it's time to turn down time. Turn down time. I think, what would be the most interesting way to approach this? Let's put my own people in the... Well, first off, no firing at will. My people stand behind this tree. Somewhere back safe, where it's okay. In fact, they're probably not ever going to fire at any of you. So let's just put you all back here. I'm going to say, like, there. There, you two have bolt-action rifles. So let's just get you on some area where you can see it. You stand there. You are my guy, but you can stand close-ish, because you got to get in range. You just walk right up to them. I think that would be interesting. You also walk directly into them, because I need you to take the full hit. And is that everybody? 600 hours here, everybody. 600 hours of Rimworld planning and tactics at its finest. So I guarantee you this guy's going to die, but what is that simmering sound? Maybe we should just send in that one guy to, you know, kick the bucket. Actually, you take cover behind her body. And you shoot them when they eventually come for them. You two can get a little bit further out, actually. And you actually should walk up to it. What will explode? Why not fire at will? Oh, yes, you're right. I should have them all fire at will. Thank you for saying that. I forgot about that. I don't want to have them fire at will yet, because otherwise they'll make some mistakes. This is the art of war. Which, I think proximity activator... No, it's got to be this thing, but he's going to get killed by the scyther before he gets there. Is it the node? Nah, just walk right over there. Just do that. Alright, he's going to probably get... Hey, why aren't you fighting? There we go. Oh, who shot her? That was not that good. That was unexpected. Actually, she got that even behind cover. Nope, she's gone. Alright. Oh, and then this guy is just... Hey, no, just packing up and leaving. That's dishonorable. Very dishonorable. Hang on a second. Now my guys are just standing out there in the grass. Alright, retreat, people. I can't decide really what to do with you. Maybe I'll have you consume her. Ah, man, I lost like 2 out of 3 of my people. Do I retreat or... I mean, I did take out the majority of it. Let's just leave the other ones here. Should make for an interesting sort of encounter. And maybe we can run them into the Royals. Okay, good. Yep, that's what's happening. We just have to keep aggroing him. But they are rather fast, so that is also somewhat menacing. Ooh, kangaroo, you're suddenly slow. Death in 13 hours. Well, that's 13 more hours left to live, mister. All right, let's see if this thing is anywhere near being... Actually, this thing is quite close to being dead. And these guys are, more importantly, kind of fast. Maybe they can slow it down before it kills our friend here. Okay, good. All right, go home. Good job. Good job. We got rid of those guests. And, well, I think that worked out exactly as I imagined it would have. Yes, the art of war. Always have the high ground. Now, I was reading an analysis, though, of Obi-Wan and Anakin. It turns out Obi-Wan was actually the one with the low ground because Anakin jumped over him, you know? And so Obi-Wan was just tactfully getting back the low ground when he said that to Anakin. He had the low ground on Darth Maul, too, you know? Many situations in which he had the low ground. The other refugees were against me in the last moments of their lives? I did not. I am offended. I won't allow this. Bad refugees. At least, you know, now with all the dead people, we have fewer tainted apparel debuffs. I think that's a big dub. I think that's a big dub. Oh, this will be explosion. Nice. Nice. Grab their meals. Grab their toes and put them on your own toes. Now who has a toe? Ha ha ha. Now the toes on the other foot. Now the toes on the other foot. Ah, ha ha ha. Just desserts. Just desserts. And you used to laugh at my foot obsessions. All right, let's get John's. Why is his name John's? Like, why not just John? I didn't make that one up. Draft. Okay, prepare to be satisfied, audience. Now, wait a second. How do I attack this? Wait, oh. Oh, no. Wait, is there a way for me to have him throw the Molotov? Actually, this will be a good test of the game's abilities. Can we do interact? Can we just... No, I don't want him to strip it. Ooh, actually, this is kind of interesting. Q action, fire at will. Huh. You know what? Wait a minute, hold? Ah, Molotov cocktails. Okay. Ah, that is interesting, and I didn't see that. Okay. I was thinking that there weren't as many fire on ground controls. However, if I held down triangle, it opened up another convenient mini menu where I can now throw the Molotov cocktails like that. And that's good. All right, so now we just take this out of the home zone and voila. Problem solved. Wow. The more you know. I think I've done my job here. I think I've done my job. Yeah, we should probably disallow that door as well. That's fair. That's fair. No door. Whoops, here we go. Yep, no doors allowed. There we go. Ah, that is satisfying, though, isn't it? Look at how the fire... I'm not even a... Oh, no, it didn't get all of the dead bodies. Darn it. I might have to go back in there again. Is there a mod? There is no mod that is as good as that, is there? That's just something that's totally in vanilla. I get to show you how much I know about all the stupid micromanagey things around vanilla Rimworld. Okay, I have not allowed that. Let's allow it again and then micromanage this to death. I like how it does stay on the attack with Molotov cocktails as the default option. 3, 4, 5. That's probably going to be enough. Don't set yourself on fire, but I think fire spread radius is 2. So move, and then disallow, and then undraft, and then also tell him to get back his bolt-action rifle, because I always forget it at the least convenient of times. Yes! I have been satisfied. Is part of the room... I believe the whole room is unroofed, unless if I forgot to do that. Yep, at least part of it is good. Yeah, good to check on that, otherwise he would have cooked himself. I like that, though. You know, I've never used, like, elemental strategies in this game to take out invaders. There were strategies where people would basically cook their enemies as they entered in, like, an enclosed hallway. I always thought that was interesting in Dwarf Fortress, though, and that's something that I will be curious to explore when that comes out. You know, I was kind of harping on this when Timberborn came out, because there's all these kinds of, like, cellular automata behaviors in Timberborn, which are kind of reminiscent of Minecraft, because I think it's where most people have seen it for the first time. Cellular automata. But I believe those behaviors may have actually been inspired. I have no idea of this, but I'm just conjecturing because I believe Notch was inspired by Dwarf Fortress when he was making Minecraft. Anyway, Dwarf Fortress is going to have that stuff because I've played it. Or I believe it's cellular automata. And it's basically like water flow in games, along with a lot of other behaviors. Rimworld doesn't really have it as far as any of the mechanics that I can think of, but it's really satisfying and it looks natural wherever you see it. And it's like in Dwarf Fortress when all of the cells fill up to 7 capacity with water, and then the water starts flowing up Z levels. It's so cool to watch it. I would love it if more games could do it in 3D, and like I've had a wish list of things that I would like to see in games if I were a game dev. And oh, the things I would add in. Anyway, if Rimworld had slightly better optimization, cellular automata, and Z levels, which is basically everything that Dwarf Fortress has, I would be a very happy boy. Actually, now that I mention it, I am very excited for Dwarf Fortress when that eventually comes out. Cellular flow, check out Oxygen Not Included. Probably. That's one I haven't extensively done. Now that you mention it, Oxygen Not Included would be a great game. Sorry, I kind of go on about that stuff. But it's fun. It reminds me of why I had been away from... another raid! Trophy earned without victory, there is no... What? Oh, yes! Lots of people! Okay, I always like fighting lots of people at once. Alright, before I have a flashback... I'd actually been away from making... Before I got on my current, like, streak of making videos, I was away from it, but what brought me back to it was Noida. Because Noida is such an interesting game. Oh my god, Noida, like, where every single pixel is simulated, or at least that's the... I believe that's, like, the marketing pitch. And I mean, I believe it, even if they... Whether or not they are. Noida is fantastic. If you haven't played it, you really should. But, what was I saying? We have only 3 people now. You know, you stand there, and then how are we going to get you all through this door? In fact, let's just stand behind and in the door. Because now I'm starting to see that this door was a hoax. This door is... It isn't there. Anyway, I wasn't even thinking that I was going to be a guy who play. I thought I was just going to become a game dev, because after what I'd been doing, I was just getting back into like software development and stuff like that. But then I saw Noida, and I was like, oh yeah, I have a YouTube channel with 10,000 subscribers. Why don't I just play this? That would be fun. And we did. We got to try it back out. Actually, we should do that one on stream again sometime. It was a very fun game. But then things started to like get YouTube a little bit more in it, and from there it's history. I would still like to do that though, because there are some games out there like that I just love. Rimworld, I'd say Minecraft has a lot of these qualities. Dwarf Fortress and stuff like that. Strangely, Dwarf Fortress was actually I had played before I played Rimworld, and I learned about Rimworld later. Did I ever play Rimworld of Magic? No. I'm not fully explored in all the mods. Ooh, this guy was tough. He was a tough boy. Oh, but they're scared. They're scared. Wait, are there 2 kinship clans raiding right now? Yes, this is somewhat of a good defense, though the warg is basically useless, aside from just being a meat shield. Wait, no, you are hurt, warg. Warg 1, female warg, age 4. So much warg information. Cut in the left eye with a knife. Oh no. You'll recover though. Come on, you'll get to have your NFL career, wargy warg. Alright, let's see if there's any good people. Plant man. Woman. Psychically hypersensitive and lazy. Horrible combo. Warg-chan. Yeah, Warg-chan. Ooh, this could be a cook. Night owl and abrasive. Well, you don't have to be very good to be the cook. Or very, like, abrasive. I don't know what's the opposite of abrasive. Kind, I guess. Whoops, wrong thing. Clear, selected, interact, just capture. Alright, and who are you? Who's this? Hey, Mr. Mech, how you doing? Unbrasive, yes, unbrasive. Yeah, those games that are like more simulations than games are always good. Nudist, gay, fast learner. Fast learner is fantastic. Nudist is, Gay is pretty like, it doesn't really change anything in this game because nobody has babies anyway to begin with. But it's a she, so there's no women. So actually, then that's okay, because we've had like kind of a loveless colony. Love can be good, but it can also be very bad in colonies. It can rip people apart. Oh, you were the high school sensitive, hypersensically somebody. No, I don't think we'll be having you. Are you going to die in 2 seconds? I don't even really know why I'm doing this. Maybe I could exemplify the bug that I'm seeing anyway. What are your other prisoner things? Okay, resistance 15%. Maybe we'll at least see if we can get this person down a bit. Then I could at least exemplify the bug that I'm seeing with this person a bit. Oh, and I do also still have 4 Luciferium. You know, maybe I'm going to go ahead and just do one thing that I've never done before that I should just do. Yep. All right, I'm going to try this out. I hadn't thought of this, but you guys said to do it. You know what I'm about to do? Is it under manufactured? Yep, it is, even though it's not really manufactured. Or I certainly can't. I don't know how to. There we go. Love, yeah, we'll get into some analogies. Love is like a swan that thinks it's a duck. You know, it could hold it back for its entire life. I don't know anywhere where this analogy is going. Yep, we're Cask of Amontillatoing the Luciferium. I think it's the only way. It's gotta be the only way. Gotta be the only way. Now, if we can get her to join, did I say she was going to be the cook? Yep, she would be an excellent cook. That would replace the other guy that we had. Also, how is she in fighting? She's a decent melee combatant, but honestly, I wouldn't really want to get a cook into melee combat. Being decent with plants is okay as well. They sort of mix. Okay, so now I'm seeing some wardening happening, but so resistance has gone down 0.6%. She should be pretty happy in this cell. This is a nice cell. Look at that, 39, 15, 10. Very nice. Very nice. What do you think of your cell? What do you think of your cell while you're being held here? Witnessed allies' death, intense pain. We should probably give her something to soothe her. Man, I'm like a ninja with this stuff now. No, don't install a peg leg. I'm pretty sure that would be a bad idea. Let's give her some, I don't know, like a beer. I like how it's called administer beer. Just give her everything. Take it. Alright, not too close now, not too close now. Still 4 in there, right? Now, I mean, this isn't like a perfect guarantee, but it is useful for traders and just to have it. Ideally, we'd have it with like a trade beacon so that we could bring it to somebody else. But hey, you know, they'd have to break into something to get to it now, even if they tried to take it. Yeah, love is like a swan that thinks it's a duck and ultimately becomes very snooty and feels that it's superior to the ducks. But what was wrong with the ducks in the first place, you know? The ducks were pretty mean to the swan, though. Yeah. Just, actually, well, that was... What was that story? Anna Karenina or something like that? Yeah, what if... Classic. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just being an idiot. You're right. My people are doing good. You know, I was thinking that they would get some quest, but I'm beginning to realize that, you know, royalty, I was openly like, this is okay. I think it's cool. Some of the things in it are cool, but I would rather not have to have them. Like, when I play royalty, I need the mod fixes that change some of the settings on it. It bothers me that one guy can't do work. And if you want to do a thematic colony in your... Or maybe it's more fun to do individually. I'm trying to think of playthroughs that I've just done on my own. Do like that robot android colony. Should probably finish that. I keep getting requests to finish that. Like 2 years later. I'll finish it on here. That would be a fun one to do. But yeah, we've been attacked by... How many tribals was that at once? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, we got something happening. That outlaw outpost. That has a strangely sing-song sound about it. Alright, let's go see where it is. We could get a log lady named Kate. Where is it? Whoops, I just dismissed it. This will be a good check of it. Jump to 10. Oh, wait a minute. It's... Wait a second. I totally misread that. Based on a nearby camp have been raiding camp is controlled by... Well, it's asking us to destroy the camp, which means... Yeah, we have to go to a camp, right? Wait a minute. Why doesn't it... That's a little funny. Maybe I need to give it a minute. Maybe if I accept it, it will show me where the camp is. Okay, I accept your quest. I don't know. I just wanted to say that. It's like I have a friend who is technically a knight now. He works for an organization where, like, if you... it's the Knights of Columbus. But I wanted to get, like, a quest from him, so I kind of, like, nagging him for this. Will you give me a quest? And they have all this regalia, and it's kind of funny. Well, they do good things, though, too. Why is this not... Oh, reward one. Okay, I will take... Yes, give me the Kate. Give me the lady. All right, now let's see if we can see where the quest is, at the very least. Show me. Show me the quest. Sad survivors, no. Well, that's a little bit troubling. I can't see where it is on the map. El Mapa. Oh, there it is. Okay. I don't know why I couldn't get it. Maybe it was because it was so close. You know. All right, let's try out a caravan. We haven't done any caravan stuff. Do we have any pemmican? We don't, in fact, have pemmican, and we don't really have a way of making it. Very well, very well. You will make meals. Colony work. I guess we'll have this be our, like, ultimate quest. Everyone cooks, no matter how bad you are at it. This should be horrible, but it is very close, and we'll just worry about getting there. Maybe they'll get back. Maybe they will. Yeah, if they stop, they starve. It's just motivation to get going. I feel a little bit like I should just wait for this lady, but I don't want to do that. I want to get on with the quest. Now, she's at 12.8%, but I have seen this just kind of stall, like I was saying. Does the PS4 have the latest version? I have no idea how future content management will go with them. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that, like, for people playing extensive amounts of it on the console. I'm still sort of considering it accessory to the PC one in that way. Now, I'm going to do something very ill-advised that I don't ever recommend that you do, which is why I'm going to save before I do this. Because I want to do this. I just kind of want to finish on a fun note. And I figure we've been... Ooh, wait a minute. Prison break? You can't just open the door like that. The door is closed. You can't decide that the door should open. This is alarming. I won't allow that kind of skullduggery. No, I say. No. Out with you, out, vile jelly, as King Lear once said. Shoot her. Shoot her before she gets to the spike trap. Oh, God. She has armed her. That was a very tactful use of the armory, which she somehow knew was right there. She would have at least had to guess the doors. Come on, give her fog of war or something. So I see that this is a rather daring, bold escape. It would be a shame if she were to get away. She will get herself killed, though, if she gets out of here. Wait a minute, she can't just use the doors like that. That's madness. I sound very whiny right now. Look, she just left. How does it... She can't have the key to that many things. We just got her walking and up. Look, this is the first shotgun that anyone has ever... I thought that she would have to break... Well, mentally noted for the next time that this happens. Anyway, this does at least give me more excuse to do what I was going to do. That was a pretty terrible shotgun, though. I believe that was the poor shotgun we had lying around. As they say, you know, sucks to suck. Dear old dad used to say that. I don't know why I'm saying that. My father is still very much alive and well. He used to say that. Yeah. Do we have meals? These simple meals will do, but let's wait till we have just a few more. Okay, it's one less person to take care of. Sage words of wisdom. Ever have like a very high-level academic collegiate discussion? Raise your hand. Well, my father used to say, sucks to suck, professor. Write that down in my essay. Man, how many years? I guess I'm like 5 years out of college now. It still feels very much like I had a friend who said after his first year out, I think he was a year ahead of me in school, I was like, how are you doing out there, man? And he was like, I've decided that real life should just be done on a semester system. And I still think that there was some wisdom to that advice. You know? Okay, let's get all these people out. Out, I say. World map. This is a very view quest. So how do we get the factions? Select, interact, view quest. So how do we get this caravan happening? I mean, should we do it maybe from here, perhaps? So the form caravan begins here. Place waypoint. Confirm route. Hold it down, and we've done it. Take. Good. Now, will they be able to... They have 2.4 days of food. Man, look at that running icon. How if they had... God, they could bring so much, like, war stuff with them. Maybe Go Juice. Yeah, you know what? Let's bring the Go Juice. This couldn't go horribly wrong. Maybe some Wake Up as well. Honestly, why not? Yeah, the running icon. Yeah, that does kind of give Portal vibes. You're right. Caravan. God, I can't say anything. Chem fuel. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else we're gonna need? Honestly, in case if they're gonna break, bring a couple of these with you. And... shit, no, they can't get that out. It's in a very safe place. I'm not gonna be able to do that. Why would they take all of this crap, though? Wait a second, what? How do I toggle this one off? Trying to toggle it. Have, take, have, take, have, take. I don't know why it's showing that these are all being taken, because... Take. Don't take that. Firm root. Yeah. Alright, at least it did save my other... Did it? Wait a moment. Okay, this is good. I haven't actually done any caravans yet, so I'm happy that we're countering. A little bit, though I am pretty terrible with... Oh, no, it is all saved. No automatic... Okay, there we go. It's because of automatic selection, apparently. I don't want them to take all of that, but I do want them to take rod in 3.6. Okay, so let's bring 3.7 days worth of food, because just a little bit, just in case. Even 4, why not? Nobody else is using it at home. Yeah, the running icon is giving me a little bit of anxiety as well. Okay, we're going to send these boys out. I think they are all... Aren't they all boys? Are you a boy? Yeah. This is a totally male colony. Wow. Look, there they go. Getting the things and going to the place. It's as if they're doing exactly what they're supposed to. And they aren't even messing it up. Oh, look, and they're waiting for the other boy. Oh. God. What lands will they roam to next? Oh, they're a little yellow dot cruising through the world. That is actually a lot of globe. Oh my gosh. They're taking the road less traveled by, but why wouldn't you just go down that road, considering how slowly people go? Oh, all right. Oh, look, they're flying as the crow caws. As the crow caws. I mean flies. Caravan has arrived at the bandit camp. How do we go in? Interact, reform, zoom in. Yes, my first bandit camp. This will be our finest hour if everyone dies, which is somewhat likely to happen. All right, let's see what kind of a mood are you guys in? Right? Are we able to create some kind of stockpile zone here? Can I undraft you all and then make a stockpile? Because I want you all to just take some... Can I do that? Okay, good. So there, yep, have a beer right there. Good, do some cloud watching. And you... I just want to see if I can force some of these actions right away. Gear? Does he have, he does have some smoke leaf on him and stuff like that. So what is your... I'm trying to make sure that all my colonists' needs are met before they go into battle. I know it's not a great idea to have them go into battle after drinking a beer, but... Actually, I mean, the irony of what I'm doing right now is quite extreme, but it would be worse if they were to snap mentally. Oh no, actually, and in fact, you are not in such a bad mood. You will be okay. You're drafted. As long as it's not smoke leaf, I'm pretty sure that's the one. Alright, we're going to perform a tactical advance here. Don't shoot till you see the whites of their eyes. Don't fire at will here. Okay, can I get over there? My worst fear would be if they were to get into melee range with me, so I'm just going to go ahead and stay far range and try to pick them off one by one. Steer behind the rock. Now, if we could just provoke them. You two bolt action, boys. Show me some action. Yes, this is exactly what I wanted. This is how you engage the unwashed masses. Let's see how they do with this. Now, can you get more detailed firing stuff on these people as they... I don't really know how to do this in normal Rimworld, to be completely honest with you. Isn't there, like, a button that you could press to see the exact % chance if they will hit the enemy in the main game? I don't remember what... Is it under records? Times a colonist... Oh, it actually shows you number of kills, too. That is interesting. Social combat, perhaps here? No? Should appear when you scroll over the enemy. Okay, then let's try that. Ah. Perhaps this is what was meant. Shoot him. There we go. Blood has been shed on the ground. He will die in 22 hours from his right arm bleeding. There's nothing that can be changed. This... How... But, I mean, honestly, how stupid can they be? I actually don't like this in Rimworld, how they are just kind of like, man, it's raining really hard when they start getting shot. But, I mean, this is the perfect range at which to engage them. We would just want to pick off one or two of them, but they will get slightly more annoyed. I think ideally you would just cause each of them to start bleeding, and they wouldn't notice that they were dying. They would just slowly bleed to death and be like, man, that was the worst of rains today. They're like, LOL. Yeah. I'm totally getting shot. Look, they totally just saw that she got shot, and now they're having a conversation. Okay, let's move in a little bit further. They might be slightly more dim than I thought. This is not console version. This is just classic Rimworld right here. All right, now they are coming for us. I insist that we take down the melee people first. Yep, her. She's coming like LSU. Go Tigers. Jesus. Wait a sec. Okay, good. All right. Oh, I meant to pause there. Get the whites of his eyes. There we go. Okay, it looks like this guy will manage to engage us. Not that bad, though. That was a lot of micromanagement in combat. And I mean, every time that I've tried to do that and break the game, it's been pretty good. It hasn't broken the game, is what I'm trying to say. They're fleeing from their own home. Dishonorable. I mean, probably smart, but death in 14 hours. All right. Might have to do a little bit of emergency medical surgery right here. Oh, wait, no, don't flee this way, otherwise we'll have to fight you. Doot, 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 pew, pew, pew. Pewed him. Who is Kate? Fire starting... Oh, you're the lady that joined our colony because we did this thing. I totally forgot about that. Who even are you? All right, she's got a plan. It's actually not that bad. She's okay, aside from being a pyromaniac. That's slightly, But, I mean, of all the places to be a pyromaniac, in a cave is a pretty good one. Yeah. Should the beds be... Ah, that's a good idea. Let's go sleep in their beds. That would be very, intimidating of us. Wouldn't it now? All right, yeah, we are going to kind of need a bed. I think we could just claim it, right? And then we don't have to attack it. Yeah, okay, that is transferring over pretty well from here. Unless there's, like, we meet people in there. Surprise! Let's claim that, and then make them medical. That way we use the enemy's beds for... I think this is so cool in this game, how you can just do this. Have we set them all to self-tend? I don't want to go through micromanaging everybody tending each... Well, let's actually try it for one. They should get in some bed rest, but... Yeah, tend to one another. Help one another. Oh, you're actually healthy. Okay, you can do these too. Maybe might want to clean up. Well, we'll get done with this one, and then we'll clean up the blood after that. Yes, the perfect base. I always find it funny how enemy bases are extremely unrealistic. Like, how would these people have survived just over a single patch of smoke leaf? They just gathered berries day after day. Clean. And then tend. And then at this point in time, they may actually just be able to walk back. They'll probably get some more meals from this place, won't they? Slightly speed up time. Pyro is overrated as a terrible trait. I have just had bad... Yeah, Pyro isn't that bad, but I've just had very bad luck with it. Like very, very bad luck. Alright, I think I will send these guys back out. I heard somebody say that they had encountered some bug with caravans, but I haven't done one, so I wanted to make sure I had done one. The payment has arrived. Is that the person? Oh, look what she did. Wow, productive. All right. Let's see, back out to the map. But honestly, navigating back and forth between the world map, my own base, and this is somewhat okay. Like, it's just about as inconvenient as it was. I never really found it to be a very convenient swap. It's pretty well managed, but I mean, it's just as good as the PC version. Guys, everything that I've seen in this port, aside from the ability to or not to use mods, has been just about as good as in the PC version. There's probably some exceptions, like, you know, if you tried to do some massive blueprint on a base, but this is playing really smoothly. Aside from the... I mean, the couple of little, like, gameplay issues I've mentioned aside. But those have nothing to do with the controls. Oops, oopsie-daisy. Place waypoint there. Confirm route. Hold. I think we just take everything with us. I don't really care too much for these people's loot. They don't have that much. Hold. Descend. Okay. Boom. They're a yellow circle again. A majestic yellow circle. I feel like we've kind of come... You know, we made like some classic dingus Rimworld mistakes. We've done some good, we've done some bad. And there's been a story around this colony. What was its name again? What the hell was its name again? At Finiston Unification, who knows what was being unified? Mostly there were just divides as far as I observed. But I wanted to see if I could have an authentic Rimworld experience, and overall I'd say, what was this, 12 hours of play? Probably more, because I had some time off screen that I was playing. Aside from the little things I reported, which are probably going to be ironed out. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to play this and you just had console, I would recommend this now. I think I can wholeheartedly say it. If I had to pick between the two, I'd definitely pick PC and on Steam. But then again, there are those people out there who play Rimworld on GOG, and, well, they don't have mods, and... Or, not GOG. I mean, is it GOG, actually? I can't remember. I like GOG, except for the fact that you can't get the Steam Workshop mods. But actually, does anyone own the GOG version of the game? In which case, you have fantastic DRM. What am I doing now? I'm walking myself in circles. Anyway, you know, I imagine that the people who sign up for this aren't really expecting mods in the first place. And there are people who don't like mods in games. I used to be, like, religiously against having a modded game because I felt like it was inauthentic. I think it was because I liked Xbox Gamer score achievements, and that wasn't in mods. I don't know why. I came over from Xbox to PC gaming, but ever since Rimworld, I'm fully converted on mods in games. Well, that and DayZ. I think that they're great, and they should be welcomed. Not that I was ever really against them. I don't know why. It just felt like... It felt like getting a tattoo. Like I thought I would change my mind later. I want a tattoo. I just know that I'm going to change my mind about it. You ever think about that? Like, damn, why did I get a big zebra on my butt, you know? Because that's what I've been thinking about. Wolves, mechs. All right, it's time to now purposefully try to get myself killed. An aesthetic knows, the quest for... now we really need to do something to intentionally try to get ourselves killed. I'll think about this one. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll save that one if I really want to keep continuing with this colony. Because right now, I feel like I've come to the end of my initial playtest of this, and I think it's awesome.